The good news is I've got the game working on Windows 98. The bad news is the sound's bad, but don't worry, I've got a plan for that. The bad news is that the sound has come out all choppy, like it did for Know Your Stuff, which I was afraid would happen, but it's alright because all that means is that I'll simply redub the whole game and read out all the lines for the actors, so there's nothing to be afraid of.
Not too long ago, Zoombinis enjoyed the good life. Though they all looked slightly different, different eyes, noses, hair, teeth, such differences meant nothing to the Zoombinis. And so they lived happily on Zoombini Isle, making small, useful products which were prized.
Now here's the introduction. So they've got healthy bank accounts, which is always nice. That's certainly a pre-economic crash game. There's the bloats. I always thought this was interesting about the bloats, is that you never see them. There's their silhouettes, their shadows there. The bloats with the nasty corporate... what's the word? They're the nasty globalist capital venture the globalist venture capitalists that have come along to trick the Zoombinis into giving them all their money and getting nothing in return. Just like the McDonald's man did to the McDonald's brothers in the 60s. So these bloats come along promising in the world, but then they take all their freedom and make them slaves. There's the bloats again as silhouettes on the turrets, the parapets on the castle, and Zoombini Isle. You never see the Zoombinis you never actually see what their features are, though. You only ever see the shadows. You don't see their faces, their clothes, their hair, nothing. I always thought that was weird. I always wondered why you don't get to see them. But I think actually, now that I'm watching this thing as an adult, I think I might actually know what the big thing is with the bloats. I think they might be supposed to be humans. Take a look at that. I've got a feeling they're humans. I think this is yet another Captain Planet-style 1990s children's medium message about humans being the real monsters all along. The Zoombinis are a allegory for an endangered species. And the plot of the Zoombinis is that now the Zoombinis, with all their wise business sense and healthy bank balances, it's not saved them. They've been messed with by the bloats who have taken their island where they all live. The Zoombinis being these little blue egg-shaped things with weird features on them. The bloats have turned them into slaves and they have sick of it, so they've built a boat somehow despite having no hands. And now they're off to go sail to faraway adventurous lands to find the promised land of the Zoombinis. Except nobody promised them anything. They're just sailing off hoping that they'll happen to find somewhere else to live. And that's what they're going to do. Well, maybe we'll return to Zoombini Isle for one last final boss battle with the bloats. Or maybe the bloats will come after us and we'll confront them in the end. No, we're never going to see the bloats again. Spoilers, that was it. They're just the catalyst for the plot and nothing more. I guess maybe this game was ahead of its time. Maybe the bloats really were... Maybe the bloats were the human... Maybe bloats were humans after the credit crunch in 2008. The economy of human land has failed, so they've come over to the Zoombinis' land to take advantage of them and ruin their economy. Because that's the sort of thing that the human race would do, according to the 90s. Now, what we have to do is logically... Well, this game is called The Logical Journey of the Zoombinis. Except that in the version I've got, it's called Zoombinis Maths Journey, despite having no maths. You've got to logically guide your logical Zoombinis through the worlds and the travails and tests and trials and difficulties and pitfalls ahead of them after they sail off on that boat to escape from Zoombini Isle, where the bloats have captured them. We've got to take our Zoombinis to safety. However, it's not quite so simple as that, because this is a whole island of Zoombinis. There are 625 Zoombinis in total, on Zombini Isle, you can see. That tiny little piece of trash in the bottom left of this map is Zombini Isle. And that, all around to the east of them, is the big, mysterious, unknown lands that they've got to go to escape the bloats. Can they escape the bloats? It's all up to us and our logic skills. And as there's so many Zoombinis, there's no way they'd all be able to fit on that little boat, one must presume. So we've got to take them 16 at a time. But it's not enough just to take them, we've got to make them. Every Zoombini is a combination of one of 5 types of hair, one of 5 types of eyes, one of 5 types of noses, and one of 5 types of feet. And we gotta make a Zoombinis out of all these features. And the big task of this game, really, the entire point of everything about this game, is to solve puzzles that are entirely based on the similarities and differences between the features that your Zoombinis have. One of your Zoombinis might look identical except for the Japanese... the female eyes, like that. Female Japanese eyes. Not Japanese, but those eyes. And then one of them might have a Cyclops eye instead, say. So, if you get to a puzzle where one Zoombini is not allowed to do something and the other one is, then you'll find out if it's because they've got a Cyclops eye or because they've got 2 eyes like that. If every one of the other features is identical between them, you see. It's a logic game. All the puzzles are about using the differences between these various features of theirs to figure out what Zoombini is allowed to do what. But wait, you might be saying, why can't you just make all your Zoombinis just be exactly the same? Well, that's the catch, you see. The game won't let you. Well, it will let... Okay, fine, it lets you make 1, but it won't let you make any more than 1... Well, than 2 Zoombinis that look identical. You have to change the feature for one of them. And in fact, I believe that the 625 Zoombinis that exist on the island is a number comprised of the actual maximum combination of types of different features that any Zoombinis could have. By the time you've gotten every last one of them to their island of freedom, by the time you've saved all of them, you will have had a Zoombini of every single possible type. Anyway, the smart way to play this is to change as few features as possible so you can get the absolute maximum, Zoombinis with everything the same except a few things. But stuff like that, we're going to use this dice thing to randomise it every time. Well, I can have 2 as the same, I suppose, whatever. Come on, Zooms! Come on! There we go, that's 16 smashing, cracking, baba-dabba looking Zoombinis right there. Get on the boat, kids! We're off to see the true, real world. This world isn't real, this is just an island somewhere. That makes it not real. And so they make their brave voyage on the ship that they somehow manage to sail despite having no arms, and make it to land where they disembark despite having no arms to get anything to lower themselves from the boat, and then they start making their way up this mountain with no arms to do anything with, and so on. And now they come to the bridge. How did they even have banks if they didn't have arms? How did they build a bank? How did they make money? How did they anything, really? If you start questioning the Zoombinis too much... Ironically, if you start to apply logic to the Zoombinis themselves, then it all starts to run up a bit short. As much as everything that these Zoombinis do in their epic quest involves logic, the Zoombinis themselves are profoundly illogical. Now they've come to the first epic quest on the big Voyage's quest task. The Zoombinis have arrived at a massive big gap in between the mountains. That's not good, we're over here, we want to get over there. And there are 2 bridges. Which, well, I mean, these bridges look a little bit rickety. I don't know about you, but if I was a person walking across one of these bridges over that very enormous pit down there, I wouldn't feel too pleased. I wouldn't be chuffed with walking over that thing. I'd be a little bit uneasy about it, but the Zoombinis don't care. They'll gladly go forth. We've got to pick one of these bridges, selecting a Zoombini and tossing him on one. Let's take Nahafra onto that top one there and see how he gets on. What could possibly go wrong? What's this? Why is the mountain animating? Oh dear! The mountain sneezed! That's right, there's faces on the mountains. Look, that mountain's got a face! And that mountain's also got a face. and they got a bit of a cold or something. They got allergies. Well, there's only 2 bridges, and every one of these Zoombinis needs to make it to safety. So let's try the lower bridge instead of the top bridge. See if you can get past that face. And he did. Good. That face was fine. But oh no! What's this? One of the 6 pegs that was over here has gone and gotten slammed because that face in the mountain sneezed. It went a lot better for the Zoombini than it could have. He could have ended up plummeting down that mountain and into the very gorgeously drawn ravine below. I don't know what a ravine is. Whatever that water is there, that line of water. That 2 lines of water with blueness in between them. Like John Cunliffe used to draw in Rosie and Jim. Whatever it was he said. Now I take my 2 blue pens and draw the river, like this. It's a sunny, cloudy day today, when Rosie and Jim are off on their exciting adventures together. I wonder what kind of adventures we'll have today. So, that was John Cunliffe, a Fizgog, as they called him, for no clear reason. Inexplicably. What are we doing? So the Zoombinis, as I've already took a while to explain earlier, the point of this puzzle right here, as with all the puzzles, is that we're faced with a choice of what we can do with each Zoombini, and we've got to use logic to figure out how to solve it. We know that that head there wouldn't let this Zoombini pass at the top, and the reason he didn't let him pass is because something about his facial features displeases him. It's either his hair, or his eyes, or his nose, or his feet, or maybe more than one of those things. Who's to say? Well, in order to solve this puzzle logically, we have to manage to figure out how to get... Well, we got to get all the Zoombinis across there. Oh, I can't move him over halfway, of course, but I can move him halfway. The game happily lets me dangle him over certain death over this. Isn't it? Oh wait, I thought I couldn't get him back for a second there. That's interesting. When I move him down into the middle and then start moving left, I'm moving the mouse left right now, but it doesn't move until I've done it for quite a while. That's weird. I think it's just the longer you move it to the right, the more you've got to move it to the left to get back again. That's something that nobody probably ever discovered about this game. That's a bit of a glitch. Whatever. The Zoombinis. What are we going to do? Yeah, we got 6 attempts to get all these Zoombinis across without... We've got 6 sneezes left from either one of these mountain heads before the Zoombinis all die. We got to use logic to stop them dying. We see that all of those features that Zoombini has, we see that our own Zoombinis that are still to cross share some of those features, like this one here has the same hair and the same eyes, but doesn't have the same nose or the same feet. So what does that suggest? Well, what does it suggest actually? It suggests that, well, the hair and the eyes would allow this lower rock thing to get him past, because he's done it before, but we don't know what this monster rock mountain face god thinks about his green nose or his spring foots. So the most logical way to approach a problem like this, as any good logician would presumably tell you, because I'm not one of them, is... to try and find a Zoombini that has all the same features as that one except for its feet, and then see if the feet make that one upset. Then we'll know it doesn't like certain types of fruits. I think that was what you want to do, I don't remember. Well, that was the only Zoombini with a purple nose, I just noticed, so off to a great start there already. Well, let's try this one and see, since that one's identical with all except the nose, so let's see what happens. Come on, Zoombini, make it. No! You can tell if it's going to fail, because the Zoombini walks slower along it if it's going to fail than he would have done if it was going to succeed. I remember that from childhood. Okay, so what we've learned now is that Bottom Mountain doesn't like green. He does like purple. Now, let's see if it's just the nose that's the problem. Let's shuffle her over there. Mountain's happy with that one. How about this one? How about this one? How about this one? Oh, woo, come on, yeah, woo, we just, whoa, yeah, excellent, that was good. Oh, there's one more, hiding behind that tree, hiding her green nose behind that tree. She must be ashamed of it. Oh, I'm ashamed. That's what she said. Well, she might have said that, except the Zoombinis never seem to speak English. They don't have a single coherent line in the whole game. They just make their they just make their noises. Their noises and exclamations of triumph. That's all the Zoombos ever do. Now we're left at a quandary. We know that the top one likes the noses that are green. We're out of those. We know that the bottom one likes the noses that are purple. But out of those. Blast! No purple. Yeah, out of those, like I said. So, we don't know what likes what anymore. But can we use logic to figure it out? Well, I think no, actually. Because the top ones have the normal feet. And they have the Wally McCarmer hair as well. And the female eyelashes, eyes. So there's no unique features about this Zoombini that we can actually use as a basis on which to make the claim that the bottom mountain will like it or not like it. Well, sometimes you just gotta take a bold move in life. Oh, he's happy. Bottom likes orange too. Does he like blue? Oh, it's freezing. Oh, but the freezing wasn't a bad omen. Sometimes a plastic bag's just a plastic bag, you know. You can't take everything as a sign of terribleness. Oh, yep. Yeah, good now. Okay, so this bottom mountain let a whole bunch of coloured noses pass. But I've got a feeling that we've let this one has 3 different types of noses it likes, and that one's only got 1 at the top. So I've got a feeling that it'd be a bit more balanced if the top one allows the red noses past. But looks are deceiving when Koopas are involved. Or rock mountain faces, because no, my logical deduction was wrong. Sherlock Holmes would not be a happy bunny. I wonder how Sherlock Holmes would take to this game, if he existed. Would Sherlock Holmes like the Zoombinis? Do you think he would do well? Would he do a good job? Well, maybe that. What about that modern Sherlock Holmes guy in the reboot Sherlock Holmes? Like all modern reboots of things, it's set in the modern era, and it's just his first name, Sherlock. It's called Sherlock, as if that means something. Oh, they took the Holmes off of his name. Oh, these guys don't mess about. This is modern. All right, they're real edgers. It's a profound thing that his surname's gone. Right now. We've completed successfully our first epic quest, the first task to cross those mountain bridges. All the Zoombinis have survived. And we want all these Zoombinis to survive because you get rewards if all of them make it through these arduous perils. They're not worth it, obviously, but you get them. If you want to get 100% completion of the Zoombinis, which you don't want to do, by the way, and I'll explain that later. If you want to do that, though, then you want to keep them all alive on every single task that you perform with them. And here the Zoombinis have walked along those mountains, and they've made it all the way down on the other side of that massive mountain range, and walked along, and come across this cavern wall bit here, with a bunch of entrances, and a bunch of entrances leading into a cave system that they, for some reason, need to go through. I don't know why the Zoombinis couldn't have just walked around the side of this cave, but again, you got to not use logic when it comes to the stuff that actually matters in the Zoombinis. I mean, I suppose if Sherlock Holmes was playing this game, and you asked him to solve these puzzles, I say, Sherlock Holmes! That's Dr. Watson talking. No, that Dr. Watson wouldn't sound as sophisticated as that. He'd sound like, "God blimey, Holmes! I'm stumped I am on this logical journey at Zoombinis like! I can't get past this puzzle! You gotta help me, Holmes! You gotta help me get past the puzzle! Here, Holmes! Stab your prampers onto that computer there! Give it a go! Go on! Logically solve the puzzle! How'd you do it, Holmes? Give me an hour! Give me a leg! Come on! Give me a leg! I ain't got no legs! Do it! That was Dr. Watson, as popularly perceived. So Dr. Watson would have sat Sherlock Holmes in front of this Zoombinis game, and then Sherlock Holmes would have taken one look at this and said, "Elementary, my old boy! Switch off the computer! Elementary, my dear Watson!" Then he'd just switch the power button off, and then he'd just turn off the power button and say, "Problem solved!" And Watson would just stare in complete befuddlement at the computer, sheer shock at the supreme brilliance that he's just witnessed. I don't understand, Holmes! Amazing! What is it that Watson says? I don't remember. Incredible! Your genius mind knows no bounds, Holmes! So yeah, Sherlock Holmes would have solved the logical journey of the Zoombinis by doing the most logical thing which an adult man would do in the mid-2010s when faced with a 20-year-old small children's puzzle-solving game, which is just to blooming switch it off and go and do the dishes instead. But that's not what I'm in this for. I'm going to solve this puzzle and do it logically. So, what are we? Well, yeah, there's this second puzzle of the Zoombinis is a bit more advanced than the first one. You might notice that unlike the bridges, where there were 2 bridges we had to cross, there are now 4 doors open to us, and 4 pathways to take to get through one of them. So let's just bite the bullet and try this. Okay. You can probably guess roughly what would happen if... you can probably guess what the potential is to happen with this puzzle. But let's do the clever thing and put both of the identical Zoombinis in the same place. Alright, now. Here's a Zoombini that's the same as them in all but spring. All but feet. So let's take that up there. Oh, that's good. Alright, well, then let's take his little doppelganger there. The doppelganger goes in that one. Look at how smug the female rock at the top is. I don't know if you were aware that was female, but it is female. It's got the female rock eyelashes. You can see those black lines coming out of her eyelashes. That's the traditional female eyelashes. Now then, this Zoombini also is the same as them except for the feet. And he's good. Okay, both of them in. Now, I think this is where things get dicey. This Zoombini has a different nose from them. Let's see what happens. This Zombini has a different eye. Well, no. We don't want to put one in that's got 2 features different from these ones. If we can help it, at least. Let's see. That's got a green nose. But everything's different. Let's just bite the bullet. Oh no. Oh no. It's bad. You only get so many failures at every task before the Zoombinis die one by one every time you fail. And we don't want that to happen. None of these Zoombinis are going to die on my watch. Have no fear, compadres. Mr. X has got what it takes. Okay. I don't remember how I figured out how to solve these puzzles in the original game. What's the difference? Well, they've all got sunglasses, and they got funny eyes, and they got the female eyelashes in the left, and they got Johnny Bravo sunglasses on the right. So, I'm guessing that each one of these slots, each one of the caverns gives different eyes entrance. So let's get all the sunglasses in there. I'm guessing that the Cyclopses go in one of the top ones. It certainly isn't that one. Yeah, whatever. Let's see, let's take the long trek up to that woman. See if she lets us in. He's going slowly, though. Well, we know it's this one. Alright, fine. So the Mr. Rockman at the bottom lets everybody in, basically, right? Yeah. The woman doesn't want anyone. He's got an extremely selective club. Yeah. Unlike Sherlock Holmes, I solved that puzzle. Logically. Now on to the next thing. You'll notice the path that we take is getting highlighted in green as we cross it. There is a significance to that colour. Now, what is this? An ice cream and a pizza? Is that peas on that pizza? Who on earth would order a peas on a pizza? This is disgusting. It's sick. You should order anchovies and pineapple instead, like I do. Both at once. Alright, well this little tree monster wants a pizza. He thought we were fleens at first.
Fleens? You're not fleens!
But he's mistaken, we're not fleens. Well, yeah, he's not mistaken because he knew we're not fleens, never mind. Yeah, so he said fleens. But what on earth are fleens? There's been no such thing as fleens mentioned in the backstory to the Zoombinis. Mysterious, must be something that doesn't exist. That's logic. Nothing exists. Basically. So let's give him a pizza. Then here, have your stupid margarita. Oh, but it's not good enough. He wants toppings. He wants more toppings. Well, when his voice cracks there, it reminds me of Eddie from Ed, Edd and Eddy. His voice just was always doing that. I wonder if it's the same actor. I could find out if I cared. But he wants more toppings. Alright, fine. Well, I mean, let's give you all your toppings, you Baz Laszloggy. There's your toppings. Have that. Worms and rice. Yeah, I thought so. He's not got the eccentric enough taste for that. Well, he shoved that first pizza up there, and he said that he didn't say he hated it, he just wanted more toppings on it. So he's put it on that rock, and the one that he actually genuinely disliked, the ingredients in it, he's put down there. So the logic to this is that you've got to figure out what the exact combination of toppings is that he wants. And the way to do that is, the logical way is to try putting one type of topping in at once, and gradually build up, figure out what ones he likes and what ones he hates. Let's see what happens here.
More toppings.
Now you see more toppings. He's going to throw that pizza to the left like he did there. That means he likes the white things, but he wants more. He likes that pizza, but he wants more, so we know white's good, and he wants something else. Let's give him some worms. I don't know what's stopping him from using the pizza machine. Maybe the fact that the button is way up there.
Something on that I don't like.
Well, something on that he doesn't like. Every single character we come across in this game is stupidly vague. They just won't come out and say what they want. Something on this I don't like. You could just... all of the Zoombinis' logical problems would be avoided if, again, the world acted logically. If people acted logically and just flat out said, I don't like worms, I want a pizza that's got cheese and mushrooms and nothing else. If he just said that, everything would be fine. He doesn't say that. And we got to go through all this rigmarole because of it.
Something must go.
Brother, he's still not happy. At some point he's going to start killing the Zoombinis if we don't satisfy him, so I probably shouldn't have wasted that giant mega pizza there. We know he hates the cheese and the worms, so let's try the burger meat slabs. I hope he doesn't kill this one. You'll bump him away into the heavens if he doesn't like it.
More stuff.
Phew, okay. That was his warning. I thought we were goners there. I thought he'd killed him. I knew that he slaps them to the side like that. But if the Zoombini dies, then he'll fly away into the sky. Okay, so the white mushroom, the slab beets. We know he hates cheese and worms, so this is the only possible combination it can be. Yeah, maybe he can't reach that button, but then again, neither can the Zoombinis. It's us that is clicking that. Not them. Yeah, good. He's satisfied. Excellent. Have your pizza. Maybe I won't dub the voices over it. Maybe it's fine without that.
Thank you, narrator. It pleases me to hear your compliments. Excellent.
And now we've completed the first, the first leg of our journey. That's what the game calls it. Completed the first leg. World 1 is over. The big, the bad, and the hungry. I don't know what the bad is, if it's not the hungry. There was nothing bad, really. I guess those rocks were a bit of berks, not letting us through the cave system.
What's this?
Site with hot